Good afternoon, colleagues, stakeholders, friends, and everybody. Well, good morning and also maybe good evening, depending on what side, what part of the world you're in. It's good to be here, and thanks to Ikechi and the Aquaba team for giving me the opportunity to discuss this this topic. Now, somebody once said that festivals, they're not just culture, because they're economic engines and they're capable of generating billions if well managed and properly harnessed. And we can see that going with the Calabar Carnival, which you just mentioned. I don't know if I'll be wrong in saying that the Calabar Carnival is the biggest we have in Nigeria. And it's generated from also
biggest in Africa.
In Africa, sorry.
It's the biggest in Africa.
Beg your pardon. And I read somewhere that it generated over 50 billion in just 2 weeks last year. And from what we're looking at this
17 billion.
So let's see, from the way we're going, we're looking at it generating double or triple that if it is well harnessed. Now, in Nigeria, we have many festivals that hold annually. Like you said, the main one, we have the Calabar Carnival, we have the Eyo Festival, we have the Ojude Oba, we have the Agunju Fishing Festival. There's so many festivals. But what I see in this festival is that they are all just limited to their various areas. They're not really making it go global. Everybody is doing their little thing in a little corner. So what we're looking at doing is what do we do to actually propel these festivals into the internationally, so that when we talk of Agunju, people automatically know that, oh yes, in Nigeria, these festivals are available for the world to see. The festivals, they are very successful and they're generating income, but they're not generating as much income and visibility as we would like, such as will grow our tourism industry. And people from diaspora would say, oh, they would like to come and see witness these festivals, and thereby adding to GDP. So what do we need to do? We have a host of all these ones in Ibadan, in Abeokuta, in Ijebu. What do we do? How do we harness them? How do we promote them? That, I think, is where we are lacking. Now, we also cannot I don't think we'll be very successful without government intervention. We need the government to support, because without their support, to be honest, there's so many things that we might not be able to do. I think for Calabar Carnival, their success is also mainly because they have also partnered with the government. Government is also assisting. They know the way to go. They've done that in terms of sponsorship, marketing campaigns, getting government involved. That is what I think is lacking in this, the organization of our festivals, because festival, the way I say it, is tourism, and tourism is festival. So how do we move it onto the international scale? First and foremost, I think there needs to be visibility. We need to sit down and look at all the festivals that that are held in the country. We now said, okay, let's do a calendar of all these festivals, so that we know that when there's the day you're eating ram and salam meat, you know that immediately after the salam meat day, there's the Ojude Oba. When there, that this Christmas season, there's Salam Festival. When there's Agunju Festival. That on this day, there's the Adire Festival, the EcoBank Adire Festival. That. So there's a need for us to work with the stakeholders to sit down and come up with a calendar of all these festivals. So we know that, okay, are the ones we're going to focus on. And then we now start looking at how we're going to promote them, how we're going to get the government involved, how we're going to get the stakeholders involved. So it's not just enough for us, okay, we have a diary of calendars, these are the events. Now, how do you promote this event? What do you do? you know the areas where these events are going to be held. Now, let me use Ojide Oba, for example. Ojide Oba is held in Ijebu-Ode, right? And we know the exact day period it's holding. Now, to come in, do we need investors? We need to talk to government to please come and invest in this. We need infrastructure, most importantly. It's not just enough to say Ojide Oba is holding. Now, we need adverts. We need to sensitize people. I can tell you, last year, we were speaking to a few people, some groups in America, and they were ready to come to Ojide Oba because they had seen videos of it. Unfortunately, this Trump war happened, and a lot of them sort of like lost interest. But one thing we need to do is to promote this event. We send out our calendar of events. These are the activities that are going on. We need to get all the stakeholders involved. We need to get the hotels involved. We need to get the airlines involved, because the hotels need to sit down and work out packages. The hotel to work out packages that we are going to sell to tourists and those in diaspora. Because without that, there is no way your festivals will interest the international and the global tourists. You need to sell this thing to them and let them know that these things are available and this is what I miss. Look, when we go to other countries and we go to their festivals, we see what they do. We see that the infrastructure is there. We see that they have good hotels, maybe roundabout where the events are holding. Because what we are trying to do is we're not trying to sell Nigeria, we're trying to sell an experience. We want people to come and see Nigeria, that, oh, these are the festivals that we have in Nigeria, and these are the festivals that we would like to come and watch. And in packaging, we're not just packaging, say, Ojide Oba or Eyo Festival. We have to look at it and say, okay, now, what can we build around these festivals? If Ojide Oba is there, it's in Ijebu-Ode, Abeokuta is there, and we have Olumorok. Now, there's also the waterfall in Ekiti. What's that water? The hot and the cold one is there as well. So we can look at
Arinta waterfall.
Yes, we can look at building packages around these events and call it, yes, the Ojide Oba Festival. So they're not coming to look at the festival alone. There are other things that they will be seeing. It's the same for Eyo Festival. That Eyo Festival is held in Lagos, but there is no reason why we should just center it around one area, whereas we can look at other areas within, I mean, Eyo, I'm Lagosian, and Eyo, they're not supposed to go across the bridge. They're supposed to be on Lagos Island. But there are packages we can put together that will interest these international tourists who would want to come, do the Eyo Festival, do Ojide Oba, whatever is there, do 2 or 3 events, do Nikkei Art Gallery, package these things. But like I said, the most important thing for us is to provide the infrastructure, because without infrastructure, nobody is going to go there. Let me also give an example of Canada, Niagara Falls, right? Niagara Falls was there. It's a natural phenomenon. Nobody put it there. But now what they did was, okay, they now decided, oh, this is a very exciting thing. I mean, to excite people, let's build it into something where people will come. So what they did is, to the approach to the to Niagara Falls, there are all sorts of activities. There's all sorts of events happening there. So it's not just going to Niagara Falls. You see people, different types of events are being put together for people. So it's a festival and it attracts people. The government has invested so much in it to make sure that people come from all over the world to see it. Oh, you want to go on the ride made of the mist, you go there, you enjoy. We have more waterfalls in Nigeria than we have in so many countries. And we have not taken advantage of that. And we need to do that. Now, to move from that, let's move on. Okay, what do we need to do to make our festivals interesting for people apart from the government? You want people to come in. Now, do you have enough accommodation? What are your accommodations like when these festivals are being held? Do you have hotels? Are your hotels standardized? Are there Airbnbs? Are there accommodations that will take advantage of lastminute.com? I want to hide the fares. Are they regulated? Those are the things we need to put in place to make these festivals attractive to people. Now, you want tourists to come in. What are your entry visas like? Do you have visa on arrival? Do you have barriers to entry? Do you have processes that will frustrate tourists? These are the things that you need to look at, that you need to put in place. Entry visas should not just be for people who are coming for businesses. It should also be for tourists as well, because if it is so difficult for you to get into the country, then whatever festivals you're putting together, you're just going to view them yourselves. Dubai is an example. You see what Dubai did for their visas, and you see how it has affected the tourism industry, because many people, especially Nigerians that go there as if they're going to their backyard, they reduced the frequency of their going, and some even canceled. So we have to, for us to grow our festivals and to make it so big as to be a good tourism attraction to boost our tourism, we need to put these things in place. There are little things we also need to do. We need to look at payment platforms. We need to look at the ability of the tourists to be able to have access to funds and things like that. They're not going to carry cash around. If it's like an Air Festival or Judioba, you have so many tourists coming in to look at it. How do you provide? They don't want to use the POS by the wayside. What they want to see is they want to see a proper structured ATM. So what we need to do, partner with the banks. The banks, most of these banks, they have their mobile ATM points. You make them, they should go there. You have access to all these facilities. Those are the things that actually make a festival and make it very interesting and make it sellable to the tourists, because they're going to look at it and see what do you have on offer? What are the provisions you've made for people's comfort? What are the things made for, I was going to leave security for the end. What are the infrastructural elements you have there? Those are what will make people, will engage people and make them say, okay, yes, we would like to go to Nigeria to actually see this. We need to add to the tourist experience. You go to countries like, we went to China, and there was this small festival holding, but they took us around. They took us to a place where we had a man with two crickets, and the two crickets were fighting. And there were so many of us there watching that thing, and it was like, what is this? But these are things that we take for granted, but when you make it available for the international tourists, there are things that would attract them to come. Because with the few festivals we have in Nigeria, I can tell you, if properly managed, well promoted, I can tell you it will be a success, and it will be, what would they call it? It will milk dollar, pound, whatever, for us. Yes, we're doing a lot, but we are still not doing enough, which now brings me to security as well. If your security is not in place, it's not good, there is no way tourists will come. Now, somebody is saying, oh, are you going to South Africa? And I'm saying, no, I'm not going to South Africa because there's xenophobia. I don't want to risk my life in going to xenophobia to South Africa. So they need to know when there is no country that does not have violence and things like that. But the thing is that at the moment now, our environment is not really conducive for boosting and blowing out our tourism because of all these security issues. We need to try and address that issue if we are serious about making tourism huge in our country. Take for example, the Notting Hill Gate Carnival. Yes, there always violence there and everything, but that notwithstanding, it attracts millions of people. And you see, in every corner of the street in Notting Hill Gate, there are policemen. You see their bus vans, you see everything, their hospital, you see ambulances. So these are things that we need to put in place because festivals, honestly, they are capable of projecting Nigeria as the greatest tourism destination in Africa. But we need to put these things in place. The other things we need to do, which is also very important, we talk to our stakeholders, NTDC, to the tourism ministry, to Ikechi, Minister of Tourism tomorrow, knows what to do. So these are things that we can do that would definitely, and if the festivals are well planned, honestly, it can become Nigeria's strongest tourism engine. Yesterday I was watching TV and I saw there's a Christian festival also. And this guy was there. I knew his name, but Nathaniel Bassi. And I looked, it was at the Federal Palace Hotel. And if you see the crowd, thousands and thousands of people there, we're very, very religious. And we're not only religious in Nigeria, we're religious in America, we're religious in the UK. So if you decide that, okay, you want to hold a religious music festival, you know how many people will come when you have the likes of DJ Sax will come, Nathaniel Bassi will come, Bukola Beckers will come, and you're holding it at the Tafawa Balewa Square, and you have publicized it. You've used media, social media, you've all sorts of communication available to project it. I can tell you, people will come, and it will be in their psyche for years to come that, oh, I must not miss the music festival in Nigeria because it is fantastic. It is, in fact, you can tell them they will even receive spiritual healing or whatever, but I can tell you that it is something that we can do that will just blast us into the top tourism countries. I think last week there was the Adire Festival at the EcoBank, and Chief Obasanjo went there. I went there and I saw Adire made by young ladies, entrepreneurs. They're from Kano. I met Binta, a young girl from Kano. She says she makes her Adire herself, from Ekiti, from Ondo. They all came and they assembled at that EcoBank hall where they make clothes and bags and everything you can think of in Adire. These are things that we can use to attract international tourists to come. We can just name it our Adire International Festival. I think I remember what former President Olubasanjo said. He said, we should all come together to promote and develop Nigeria's indigenous Adire industry, because this is not only capable of creating jobs, but also capable of preserving the cultural image, heritage of Nigeria, and also boosting tourism. We all know, he knows that this is capable of boosting our tourism, but like you said, it's how we sell it. We need to put, the environment was conducive. We need to put all the little things in place before we can say, yes, we are going out and Nigeria is going to be the greatest tourism country in Africa. Can I also, before I close, can I also say one thing? There was also a picture, well, a video that somebody sent around. There was this white lady. She was advertising what she called a sarong. And when she put it on, there is nothing sarongi about it. This is our buba and iro, our outfit at Dubai and Euro, and she's taking it abroad and telling them how you take it to the back and then you move it to the front and you tie it on the back and you have your sarong and it's Euro and Buba. This is our heritage and people are stealing it. So if we have this Adire and fashion soak, GTB fashion thing, make it big and we advertise it and push it to the world. I can tell you the world will come. Brazilians are waiting. Brazilians, they also have, we have a heritage in Brazil. Brazilians, they are willing to come here. They're willing to come and taste our gastronomy, look at our fabric, look at our dressing, our weddings, our culture. Honestly, the festivals we can hold in Nigeria, I will tell you, is unlimited. And we just need to be intentional. We need to be focused. Last and not the least, I think I saw Toju posted today. He went to the National Arts Theatre, and I saw, and he was saying that, man, it's significant investment went in by the government, which is very good. That is also preserving our national heritage. A lot of activities can be held there. So there's so many things, but for me, I would say we are on our way to it, although we're doing it in our little cocoons. We need help to help us to blow it out. And I'm happy you said about the Calabar Carnival, what you're doing, holding meeting in London, and now they're using the media, the media to actually sensitize people. And very soon, we're going to have plane loads of tourists coming in, more than we've ever seen, to view the Calabar Festival. The sky is the limit for us. So if I look at it, I would say, honestly speaking, festivals and tourism go hand in hand. And yeah, it's not a new pathway per se, but it's always been there. It's just for us to use it to our advantage. We did it Festac 77. There's no reason why we cannot do it again. If we hadn't done it before, we'd say, okay, but we've done it before. To also add to the, but that is my view on the tourism. And like I said, I've been all over the world. I've been to as far as Australia, as far as Peru, and I've seen what they have on offer. We go there to look, is nothing more than what we can also offer. We have a lot more to offer if we get our acts together. If our government is really interested in putting round pegs in round holes and square pegs in square holes, we would honestly succeed in making tourism one of the critical sectors in money-making sectors of our economy. So in rounding up, like our students will say that, I hope I've succeeded in convincing you, but not confusing you.